Well, guys, this is just a quick video. Well, not well. Wait, it's not quick at all. It's gonna be about a three-part video. This is just this is gonna be like a commentary slash gameplay footage impressions. Yeah, that's probably I probably do that redo that, but I won't. I like the rawness of this. This is live. I'm playing it because I tried to like record gameplay and then like get on Sony Vegas and talk about it, but I'm not very good at that. I had to. I don't know. It's easier for me to talk if I'm playing the game because I'll notice stuff in the game and you know I'll immediately start talking about it and stuff like that. So it's an indie game. It's 80 Microsoft points. Which isn't very much. I don't know how much that is in normal currency, but it's you can easily get like 5 hours out of it. Basically, what you do, like right there, I just unlock the ammo station. What you do, basically, the more waves, it's sort of like Left 4 Dead, kind of just okay. Basically, not at all, except for the zombie thing, but you complete waves, and every like 5 wave, let's say, you'll unlock one of these new stations. Like this is an ammo station where you can get more ammo, and then you'll unlock little areas where those new guns, like where I'm about to go. Never mind, it's not there. But and you'll unlock stuff like that. Like I'll show you in a minute. As you can see, like you have to pay attention to the on the top right hand. I still can't find that mini Uzi. On the top right hand, you can see the map. You gotta pay attention to that because these zombies, they will flank you and they will sneak up on you. So, and this pistol isn't so good anymore because there's so many zombies. So that's probably one of the only thing I had really problems with is beginning navigating around this map. I just saw it, but I'm just gonna completely kill the rest of these guys because it's sort of like a giant circle, but everything looks kind of the same, and the game isn't really isn't really particularly visually stunning. So you know, I have a dry throat. But yeah, pretty much the whole game, especially when you get further into it, you'll just be running back and forth. Like when you run out of ammo, go get a new weapon, like the AK, and then go get health. But I wouldn't recommend getting health in the middle of it because you will get trapped, and like you get trapped in these little areas, and then you're screwed. Um, these little stations, these little bunkers or whatever they're called. But the game doesn't tell you, I don't think. But like you just seen now, the physics aren't so great. And sort of like every so often you'll shoot an enemy and they'll fly up in the air and everything. But still, I mean, I'm sure this game had a pretty low budget, uh, and that's pretty impressive, I have to say, for a game like this. I mean, it doesn't look too bad actually. I didn't think it did. The graphics aren't ugly, which is good. There were like five weapons. There was the AK, there was the M4, there was this thing which has unlimited ammo, by the way. Um, is this, which is the mini Uzi. So, and there's only one map, so I mean, but it's like $10, so what do you expect? But the thing that shocked me, you can aim pretty well. I mean, like the controls are pretty good. Okay, I expected like the Killing Floor thing. Killing Floor is a game on Steam. I expected it to be, not so great controls. That's what I was thinking. And it's really impressive actually. I was really surprised. This keeps up with every game out there. The $60 games, the games with millions of dollars as the budget. Like GTA 4 has like $100 million budget. They spent, and you know this game probably had maybe like a $3,000 budget. Of course, I have no idea, but somehow it's just as good. And I think whoever was in charge of this made sure that everybody put emphasis on the controls because that's probably the biggest problem with low budget games like this. Killing Floor didn't really have a high budget either. It was sort of like it was made by Switchwire or whatever it's called, and they're not a major developer. They maybe have like a 20-man team or something, but I mean, it's very impressive for an indie game, and it actually, I think it could, I mean, it had some more maps, more guns, you know, more variety of enemies, because you basically just shoot these zombies, and they really don't change that much. I think they start moving faster after about wave 15, and then they get a little bit more health, and there's a shotgun, best gun in the game right there. Um, but yeah, for the most part, you really do the same thing over and over. um, which is, unfortunate, but again, it wouldn't be so cheap if it had 20 hours of content or something. And the probably though my favorite game, the thing about it is it just, I can't even explain it. It's just so amazing. Not okay. I'm not gonna describe it as amazing, but I don't know. It's simple. I mean, like, I love, the complex storyline of Metal Gear Solid, but I like to shoot me some zombies too. Even though I hate the fact that it seems like it's just been going to, like, okay, let's shoot stuff. You know, like that's all people care about is shooting stuff, no story. St character development. But yeah, I mean, this is okay though. And honestly, though, it's good that, I mean, I like it that I mean, like, you'll see some people out there that make games, and just like random people, and they try to put on a story, but they're not writers, and most professional writers, have three other writers with them, and then they have an editing team. But I mean, like, one guy, I mean, it's gonna be pretty horrible, okay? And I like that, a lot of, they just accept that. They accept that some games, that they just don't have the talent, or they just don't have the money to have a good story, because I mean, I hate to say this, but the stories and everything are made for the big budget games, like, GTA 4, I guess even Halo, but I hate Halo, but I don't hate it, but uh, I just hate the idea of it. Uh, but yeah, I like the fact that a lot of indie games, I mean, like, most of them sort of accept this, but there are some that, like, try to actually attach a story to it, which is totally stupid. Not necessarily indie games, but um, independent. Just some idiot on there using yo-yo games or something to make their games. I have a friend of a friend that kind of does that. I've sort of told him that you need to. It's not gonna be good with the story, because he's just not. He's just not a writer. And even if he was, most writers again have editing teams, so that just doesn't work. And I've seen games like that try to do it, but most of the time it fails. And sometimes maybe they do. Sometimes they end up making a halfway decent story, but still not very good. And then usually, if it's that good, they make a remake of the game, like as an actual developer does, and then it's actually maybe a really great game. But for the most part, it pretty much fails every time. But yeah, I mean, like, I mean, like, I may love my stories and dialogue and everything, but I also have the urge to shoot some zombies, so that's what this game's for. And then there's like Left 4 Dead, and Left 4 Dead. I think people don't really give. I mean, like, it doesn't have a story either. It's basically shooting zombies, and I love Half-Life, and that's one of the best storylines ever. But Left 4 Dead really doesn't have a story, but the character development is great. I mean, those interaction between the characters, the dialogue is never the same each game. It never gets repetitive. There's always dialogue options. They're talking a lot, and you really get the human feel out of them. Even though, you know, I, and some, I can't say any better than that, I guess.